Unity Broadcast.
Unity Broadcasting Television don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform Salon people home and abroad. Broadcasting TV don't come. For developments now we country see. Unify, sensitize, and inform we all. For developments now we nation salon. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come. For developments now we country see. Unify, sensitize, and inform we all. For developments now we nation salon. We now independent media house. We dey here for unify, sensitize, and inform. Sierra Leoneans home and abroad.
We dey have so for talk, but waiting they happen. Political discussion, you for know what's salon politics. Religious messages, entertainment self no go left again. We no go left nothing bien no.
TV don't come. For developments now we country see. Unify, sensitize, and inform we all. For developments now we nation salon. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come. For developments now we country see. Unify, sensitize, and inform we all. For developments now we nation salon.
This not the team them where we dey talk about
Sierra Leone political history,
defeating the lives of fake people.
Waiting they be na social media.
One-on-one interview, we go bring you all the hot topics.
Unity Broadcasting TV say, and we let preserve and better salon.
Hello. We are Unity Broadcasting family members. We thank you today now on a very beautiful and blessed day today na Tuesday, February 15, 2022. Yesterday na Valentine's Day. We now the day that we they make for all the lovers. We believe say virtually everybody being spent some very, very good time, with their partners. And we thank you for that. Today we come with another edition. Of course, today this will be strictly political history. Una presenter na today na Kutubu where, as a matter of fact, they invite you now for begin like and share with pages in our Facebook, and also una go follow we na as usual na WhatsApp group. Una can begin to follow now. Well, it be very possible say it will be a small interactive discussion where sort of we entertain one or two calls them, or depending on how we go. Today we get three things that we will discuss. One, we talk about the military incursion in politics. With the way APC they talk about level 3, raising level 3. We don't know what they mean by that. So what we will do again, we will give the history of that. For tell everybody say waiting with the APC they talk about that not so strange thing. Because how can you know the history of armed intervention in Sierra politics? Then of course we will talk about as usual severe blinding. Now he call Ojoberry, the one it's all about. We remember severe blinding, labo. And of course we know how it can always attract attention where you want, either get jobs with people there, you want to go in an administration. We see the strategy where it come up with. I mean, we all just don't see the president and wife that photo, but then we'll go back to all the things that we've been only talk about this administration. Yeah. Then of course again we will talk about the history of treason cases in Sierra Leone. People that may talk about the Palo Conte them. No, not for the first time. That again we put on an APC domain. So in other words, what they do now today. Now for most MTO na the CISO now the APC legacy. Now let's go to this level 3 where APC they talk about. So the question of what is at this level 3 where they talk about? Well, for a long answer that question, we go back to waiting APC been say after the elections. In 2018, when they lost the elections to President Bio, they make them very known, say, when they know they're in governance, peace not within the country. And of course, we see by leaps and bounds, we see how they make good on the promise. We see even the leader of the opposition, Chen Omajuba, where he go to England, where somebody, one of the people that at the meeting asked how say they will take care of President Bio. Of course, we don't hear any statement they have from even for the Asane, they all, we don't hear other thing, and that even goes for and by Kuruma them. We don't see the hired people that are overseeing that. They say then they go do this, then they go do that, then they go on the CID, let them do this. All of that here, we don't hear. So wait till they talk so now just now this now the young game plan. The thing is, waiting we don't observe APC not able they in opposition. That now the big problem that they're not able. They find it very hard. I don't know who side they go pull this kind of a jaded thinking, say leadership in the country that a divine right they get for the power. They go. We don't know who side they get this. They fail for a say Salion not to the normal get Salion. Salion belong to everybody we bonded. And power obviously na people they give power. Lord not the way we see anywhere say that therefore they na power take go, but they not kind of embrace that kind of narrative there. But not to say that through the democratic process too. Where the spokesman wait till he go talk. Because the way he be talk, obviously the event is insightful. I mean, there's a way you could put something where it will make it will make sense. Assuming if they talk say they want camp and power, you will talk say by God power, we will go to the voters and let we argue with case them so that they go bring me to government. We go replace them people to the voters. But the way he talk in a very insightful way, Tunis, we hadn't seen it. So but I'll not go to then see a way with the year from APC them who say this year starts. Right from the Albert Magai in rulership, that the APC we don't decide, say the only way they will camp and power now through some kind of try for shake the security of the place for kind of compromise them. We they go specifically to which in any call. I don't know a good number of now that thing where they can do na saloon every January when they call up my own day where they can get the armed forces them where they can parade that turn. If a good number of now know what's the significance of that. Of course, the significance of that actually emanates from World War II, where Salome scored a significant victory over the Japanese forces in that place when they call Mayon or Ragun or Bomber, depending on which kind of name you familiar with. Salome participate in that war day, so will be score a significant victory over the Japanese forces. So in light of that, every now and then, every January, then they celebrate that occasion. So in 1967, the then deputy chief of army staff or the deputy force commander, Brigadier John Amadou Bangura, now that day now it is set. Now then they want to take over. They want to carry out a coup. Would them involved in this INSEF, Tarawali, they began Noah Abu Noah, they began Jawara, then you also began Sirwe. These were the people then we actually not the army officers in their wire. But what didn't happen? One panel again will be engaged in this year so nine disclose the Tijan Kaba get for know about this. So what did Tijan Kaba do? Tijan Kaba reports the matter to the head of the civil service and secretary to the prime minister then. Peter Tucker, he reported this year 12. So now they passed the word to Sir Albert by then. Sir Albert ended up the prime minister, and this was almost towards the time of the whole general election, that 1967 general election. So they passed the word to them. But before this happened, so word we don't come out say they want to do this. So now Peter Tucker go meet him. We meet him. now in place at the first commander in Os. Then they call a Flagstaff House na hill station. He meets a group of senior officers and they na in place there. But I don't know what them they do. They need it. So now I invite I say, well, I talk to her. They go na corner. Now I tell them which that the thing with the government no here. So now I say, well, let the two go to the prime minister. Now I go na the prime minister in lodge na Aberdeen. So now I put this one there before him. Say this then the thing that the evidence is where they get. He denies. Well, he said, no, not true, not true that. Not too true. Not too true. In fact, he's very loyal to the government. In the support the government. So Peter Tucker warned him. Say, let it stay away. Bangura come into contact with Peter Tucker because he owned that the not forgetting that Kalangba, that the John Amadou Bangura come out. So in Daddy, he and Peter Tucker were very good friends. If I will join the army itself, the Pabi said we are lady watch over him. So because of that relationship, so he advised him against that. So he did answer and said, no, you're not so part of it. Okay. Behold, and we don't get this plan here, so wait before take place on January 26, on January 24, rather. Right? This thing before take place. All right. Then they're on this plan and they're on the plan. But what can happen now? Why this not succeed? The man will be get the key to the armory that na Captain Sirewoi at the time for letting embark on the square. Now Sirewoi so one reason now he lost. So if pull out now he lost. So they mean they hunt him down. They were hunting him down. He lost. So now the government actually not aware of this because the Tino commander don't know. So everybody don't know about them. So what happened now and just ran it all up. They all will be involved in this here where they suspect them say they're not part of this plot for overthrow the government of Salium. And they ran them up, they go log them up. But it can't be say the elections beyond the camp now, that March 1967 elections beyond the camp. So what them do, they keep them at Panemba Road. With the hope, say, after the elections, then this matter go. But it can't be now say the Albert Magai government not become power again. So the military now, as a matter of fact, take over full force. We now bring Jackson Smith, now camp and power, March 23rd, 1967, where they proclaim the NRC, now where they abolish all constitutional government. So then they now they pull them. When they keep put parable say monkey no ba left in black hand. The same thing where he attempt for do to Albert, but he get away with her. He attempt this again with Shaka Stevens. Then March 1971 again, almost the same set of people them again. They attempt for overthrow Shaka Stevens. That March 1971 this time. But of course, everybody know that Shaka Stevens. When you get there, round them up, this time Shaka Stevens make sure say, after they know kind of court martial, they hang up. This is exactly what happened. Because he make a very no say, to Albert Magai, where he kind of lenient towards it, and him obviously enough, they go for that. So, and not forget say, when they overthrew the NRC 1968, in the Bangura, Nine been the immediate head of state between 19 and where they overthrew the NRC for coming to the return to constitutional rule. So now in the Bangura 9 installed Shaka Stevens as prime minister. But then when 1971 he attempted the same thing where he attempted against Albert. Again, just like how he failed the first time in Albert's own time, at the same way he can't fail during the Shaka Stevens' time. But the thing is, the nexus here is that whilst Albert Magai allow let go free, nothing happen to him. Shaka Stevens in drum. Shaka Stevens make sure say he hang up along with the people that we be part of it, meaning that people like Jawara them, Kolubonda, and the rest of the one that we be part of this for overthrow. So when APC now they talk about let we resurrect, then they resurrect, whatever they want to resurrect, now a cold war that we can understand. But me believe say this government here, the government might not be talking, but I believe say this government very much aware of the intrigues them. They are aware of the maneuverings them. And I believe say the government get adequate safeguards in place where will make sure say when they attempt, they will regret them. I believe say the president don't learn from the mistakes of Tijan Kaba. He may not be talking. You see, this is where people they already underestimate President Bio. In your modus operandi, in your style of governance, he not the talk. You don't hear him talking. But in actions them can prove deadly. We don't see him. Take a case of La Telopias. They know holla, all they holla, but they pay the mind. Say don't grab, say they're gonna court. That's good. But the man is not paying anybody in mind. So I strongly believe because the president is hearing, and the good thing now, this is now the age of social media, this instead of the day, it register here, it get close people that we tell them that we get formation, say we cross with T, we don't we eyes them, and go take no chance. Yes, we know say, and it's like Omar, is very desperate for the power because said talk about the fact say he not promise say he go avenge the loss where they lost. We don't see where they don't bring the military uniforms inside the country. We see where they bring arms in the country. And again I say we all hear where Cheno Majuba, where the opposition leader, where he go England, where he preside over a meeting. When one of people they ask him when they will take care of President Bill, we don't hear all that. So I not believe say any government would that be so irresponsible or it will be that be insensitive. You like when the pool will say where you enemy they not where you enemy the one after you. If you not sin up, you not sin up. Me strongly believe say this president here, he may not be talking, but he get in your intelligence team them where they out, where they monitor things them, where they look at things them. And I believe say any effort on them people are in part for come to power through the force of arms, it not go work. Waiting APC need for do, you cannot rely on the force of arms for come to power. Una get for go through the democratic process. But una not get the ability for organize yourself for go through the democratic process. Today all they talk so they not get the party not get acts together today. They not hold election today. They not put people there in place, all because an Escoma, decide say now waiting in what that the party now go get for happening. And I want anybody take this from me. More even assume say eventually they go get for do like what SFPP do for put all the officers in place. Waiting they happen, they not skill that the highest body where they get it, that National Advisory Council where they get it. Now, who that they want no more? Now they will make sure they manipulate the delegates them where they go through bribes, through cohesion, and make sure so the one that where they know say will vote the way they want. Una go recall say there's been a time where I don't talk say APC people don't complain say the cards they not give them. Even when they not pay members, all that in the old them now one way that they return from the short say anybody will get that card the membership card for go vote, it will vote the way they want. So again, as I conclude this aspect of them, I they go back to the narrative. We say one thing about APC when they need opposition. No, they're not able. They're very uncomfortable. They're very uncomfortable being at the opposition. They believe say, we don't know how they get this feeling. Say the governance are salon, the rulership are salon. Now only APC for them. And we upon a warped thinking nandi. Now a dreaded thinking nandi. Now a big fallacy nandi. The citizens through the validity of the statute of the ballot box that they make the slump and power. And once they not give you that opportunity, you know good. So regardless of what APC do, as long as the citizens not getting that mandate, they are just wasting their time. So I they come now look at the second other aspect. But like again, as I said, an interactive discussion. If anybody get anything for call for ask or you want contribute, fine. So that we all go be part of our within this 1 hour we'll get for the discussion. The next one where they can look at and see blinding in politics way in the play. In politics. We all just see now social media. You see, these are the advantages of social media, the rise of social media. We don't get anything where you do now, the common do. I don't care if they inside that Igbalede. Anything where they come out do. We know if Sylvia Blyden, this lady, where you get a picture for publicity, where everything has to be Sylvia Blyden, he go find every ways for turn the spotlight on him. Every way he go look for anything that was very significant. Okay, he say in the go in that he grave for care waiting go whatever either polarization or do this. Why that for be a big thing? Why you don't go just go serve for do that thing? That become a news line, that become a headline, and all that thing. But then what's even ironic about this, where they make you the question of Sylvia Blyden in sincerity, in integrity, if any, in principle of anything, in patriotism, from going for go pay libation now in daddy in grave, he end up that the president in house. We say and I foretold the president and wife. And we ask that, what? I mean, we know the year which is Sylvia Blyden, they talk about the people there, especially the president and wife. So who send this reconciliation not take place now? Who send now? I mean, we all the year, and they all be there behind that thing where that bad fellow, they said about how the government involved in mismanagement, corruption, and all that thing. They all the support. They see anyway they said. But then suddenly now, Mrs. Bio now don't turn some kind of a saint now. Because this lady, they may not put up in such a way that they look so bad. But then that's Sylvia Blyden. Nobody know for Bidaus. So we get any history of Sylvia Blyden in psychophancy. We get any history of irrational demagoguery. We get any history for so say everything is about Sylvia Blyden night, always standing at the lamp. Yes, we get her. This is how she goes about trying for make a way into any administration. This is how she does. She made big noise. It exhort to grandstanding. It draw attention to itself. We see this now the MPRC. If find a way now the MPRC where if I be part of the we put this according we saw that. Because when we link out to the IUF, we saw the link out. We see all that. When President Jan Kabaka into office, we see how he maneuver a way for go near the administration and all that. When Anes by Koma came into power, it been they make all kind of things. If I wonder where they follow this lady also, wonder where they follow in Ultra system, anything that. Remember at one time he be plan on and it's by Kuruma head. I don't know if you good number of now remember that, but some of you will still remember that they go lock up that remember. I mean CID they can't go there. Actually she was there just about the whole day within a CID. They can't go lock up. Everything. So in the end now after all the kushkas, after all the what you see, they don't make Sylvia Blyden and SAS, they don't bring her to the administration. This is how she does. She cultivates attention. This fellow way are not even one calling it because this station here is a very decent and important station. We don't go call the person name, but they say him doing master cabas, not doing missus. Where they now people country where we see this few all kind of venom, all kind of the chief of Mamikos and all that thing. They now be in league. He now be one of the patrons. He supports them. They all be there together. They just fall out no more. They all they sponsor them. Let's say now they talk Hosanna. Give the title or give the man all kind of give the fellow all kind of a title. But then suddenly now, Sylvia Blyden now suddenly what do they do? Now what do they do? They want to go through the wife of the president because say this lady get a lot of standing within this current government. But the hope is The party B people then they go stand firm and make sure say they're not encouraged severe blinding. Because one thing where he gets, and I hope say the president in wife will understand this. They'll be very careful about whatever conversation they get, especially telephone conversation, communications, because she records you. You don't get the courtesy, you don't get the principle, you don't get the ethics, you don't get the decency for seek you permission. If they record you, they will not be implant. We don't hear most of the things they do. We don't hear here. So I hope say people then go there around the president and wife, we go advise them for be very careful. What we know they say let get into relationship with severe blinding, because that make in politics. They always say politics, you get strange bedfellows then. These are the things about politics. And tomorrow, yesterday you and that person in be kind of be at that restaurant, but today they soon all they eat in one place. So to me that ain't not too surprising, it's not the first, because at the type of politician and that will get a salute. Now they would call our job they want to eat all of what they are today. We today and they go eat that today, go eat that tomorrow, go eat that tomorrow. Now with what they call it's a rolling stone that gathers no moss. It's all about, because this is the sort of politics we have in a saloon. The politics of opportunism, the politics of expediency, the politics of liberalism, the politics of you want it from there all everywhere at all times. We don't get a principle politics. That's how we don't get that. Now that makes some of we very contemptuous of the so-called opposition that we get, because they are not oppositions. They are nothing but opportunistic carpetbagging and vultures. That's and this is exactly what you see we are blinding the portrait there. Some of us actually be know of this. Okay. So now when I see that photo up yesterday, it didn't come as a surprise. Some people they say to me, "Why Kutubu look at this? Kutubu look now this surprising to now. Some of we they study the psyche of people then. They look at how they do their own politics. Their own politics is grounded in naked batine. All this because I want to, because they believe say the only side way you will make you get for the politics. So for you for going to politics, you go do anything you go do just for the in politics. You go resort to expediency, psychophancy, liberalism, especially irrational demagoguery, praise singing, all of those things just because you want a great bottom. So so we are blinded in kind of politicking, and how we see now, they warm way to this administration. What they do is they use you want to use the president and wife, and the president and wife will go say, oh yes, we don't get any support. Yes, it's fine for the get support them, it's fine for the bill that comes them. But what she's doing, she's playing APC against SLPP. That's what they do again. Playing and it's by Koguma them against SLPP. So just the way President Reagan and America may talk with the Soviet Union, they say trust but verify. I know they say that the SLPP government not embrace Sylvia Blyde, me not in the position for tell them who that they for embrace that is up to them. But me, the only thing we go add, trust but verify. Meaning that do not let una guard say that, especially in the area of communication, una go to communicate, una be very, very careful with that telephone conversations, because she has a history of recording people there. Lucky enough, it get away with that salon. But Naya, she will never do that. Will get away with that, Naya, because then a serious criminal offense with far-reaching legal ramifications. Will get away with that, Naya. But na salon, anybody can do anything. So the one day we see that photo where the woman go say they go, for honor in late daddy. I mean, why you and your family don't just go for? Why make a big deal out of not showing that the only person we don't lost with? We all don't lost with family. This now family matters. This you don't need for draw all the attention to yourself. Then from going for honor, you did daddy, you end up that the president he go to his wife would have seen that photo up there the ticket. So that's if you have blinded. Some of us are not, and I get a lot of my colleagues say more ordinary. social media now, especially we the panel kind of a platform they are. Some if I say notes to me, some call me, out of because they just couldn't believe. That's about. I don't know why you guys are surprised at it. Kutubu is never surprised at what Sylvia Blyden does. I'm never. We see the woman impatient for the limelight. And one thing about her, you don't know which now the limit. For example, we see how he disrespect the former president of Liberia, Mrs. Johnson Shirley. But we tell God, thank you, in citizens, they don't let Fangamo. They don't pronounce what you call Islam fatwa. They don't declare a fatwa panel. And even within the APC, the youths they don't decide they go handle that. They don't make them known. So any side they meet and they work it up. They will really get the ultimate disgrace. Meaning that they go address on the public. That they don't make them known. In other words, they don't put up an audio video where they say they go sleep naked. And no, however.
Professor, you got a call.
Caller, who said the call from? What's your name, please? Caller, who said the call from? What's your name, please?
Hi, Professor. Nami, I name Patrick Roma.
Yes, sir.
I did in London.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to contribute on two issues. First and foremost, now about this Tunis guy, this Yaya Tunis guy.
Yes, sir.
I just want to tell Yaya Tunis say, and I mean picking inside APC. Yaya Tunis, before he involve himself with everything they do, even for actually try to do for some background work. Let it talk to like a Victor Fo. Let it ask about what happened to Mina them. Let it happen to all the people the way come on at that southeast. Where suffer inside APC. Exactly. Because APC not ever get space for them.
Mm-hmm.
Then come to Sylvia Blyden. Sylvia Blyden is just nine and professor they just address so now. It's very sneaky. Now Oman always be walking away in any way you call. So if people they don't understand them, it can easily maneuver in your way. But me over the years, I don't watch Sylvia Blyden, I don't listen to them. First, I'm not in the great listen to them, but of late I listen to them. The first time where I listened to Sylvia Blyden, now where he been get this hot seat interview with this guy where they call Abdul Fonti Kabia.
Yes.
Abdul Fonti Kabia been the interview this woman about an Eskroma, especially when they just sack him. He give all praises to an Eskroma, and he even talk say that Sakwe and Eskroma Sakam, not for any way to call her, because of people the way they around an Eskroma, the bad advice. It creates a very big, good image of an Eskroma. The second term, now after the election, when an Eskroma do that kind handing over, where we all been just a doubt what he do, the rubbish. Sylvia Blyden, I can't on the spokeswoman, we go na AYZ again, where they tell you about how that man they hand over and how they limit them for making not one properly and all no she talk them. We all hear that one day. Sylvia Blyden na in talk say the money we an Eskroma left for government we might be take over. He say na billions and billions of loans we can full up AYZ their office and left. Lamran Abba of late get an interview with her. Now they will see this twist now. Because I think say this time around, APC or an Eskroma don't they quiz them. So it begin to talk again. It don't change the language now. And we always listen to that interview there. We see to the point where it talks say enjoying this Peter Conte for take the APC to court. Because the things the way APC don't do, then so what you call them that they will likely get for ban them. So I just look this Sylvia Blyden in a way yesterday, because I don't see all things on social media. They say, just like how Professor talk, he's saying go pay libation to him papa and grave because his papa don't die yesterday, make him 5 years. By the time he commode, he say if they go from Usai said back connections away in papa and grandpa being get na that Frobe area where he cook and go kill people them. So all of a sudden, it don't boss the first lady in office. Me, it surprised me. When I see them pictures, they say today, are they ask if not true. So what am I saying here, Prof? I just say this woman is very sneaky. We get for be very, very careful with her. Me not go deny say let them not entertain her more. Let them get what they want out of her. But believe you me, she is not anybody. She's a slippery customer. Now, I mean, your contribution, no more obviously I make. And I end up by saying, thank you so much for Unity Broadcasting.
Yes,
Unity Broadcasting, I think, say they don't really take a lot of way away. Me, I've been always a try for fan a kind of social media where I go listen to. But I think, say, Unity Broadcasting is one I listen to every now and then.
Amen.
I mean, I'm not taking attempt too much. I just say thank you so much for the good work. And I ask you for making una continue. Thank you so much. Thanks, and have a good day.
Yeah, so for when I say you go to what I don't talk about, Sylvia, and I let the advice we don't give. You not say let it not call yamo, but do ya let the white back go no house to be, especially where campaign communication, waiting and they tell them they need to be very careful because tomorrow you go use against them. It when I talk na phone, it come now. So Mr. I don't want add a little way with what I can't talk. I'm your two shilling Nande. And with our Unity broadcasting, my God power will continue for follow. So the final thing they can discuss now, and this discussion today, go be this treason business as saloon. So the question where people then go ask, how we get about treason as saloon? How every little thing that treason did before you go to court, they not try people for treason. And also know say treason a very serious case where in most cases now your life now in your party. I want to tell everybody say treason business as saloon not start with not an SFP starter. I want to tell everybody now, I review that again a day. From the very first time when APC came to office, 1968, now they institute treason here. The first victim was Brigadier David Lansana, where they dispatched.
You got a call.
Caller, what's that they call from? What's your name, please?
Okay, I'm a concerned Sierra Leone. The call from USA.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I just want to add my own contribution about Sylvia Blind.
Okay.
We all know saying that way is flaky, but all the same, there's sometimes in life, listening to somebody like nonsense they talk, it must get small sense. Like which you say, I shall say, the first lady deputy with man, they go say they go for be careful, lot of talk secret. Because even yesterday he criticized the president too. But one good thing about Sylvia Blind, out of all this in nonsense where they talk, that one thing we're glad for her, where don't begin to talk about the mayor. In as much years, a girl in back kick, but I don't make them not begin to pay attention to the mayor, especially like you, Mr. Kutubu, I really respect you. But I know there was one time anybody just take this mayor, like say na queen, like say na angel, like say perfect, like you even criticize the president, even though Mr. the supporter, but you don't need somebody, nobody to criticize them. So I really appreciate if one day you need to yourself to pay attention for the help for the criticize the mayor. There are many things that mayor is doing wrong, but everybody's just singing her. Immediate suspect saying and Eskroma na selector and Eskroma is using Freedom, the Freedom City Council for compete with the president. They even use the mayor as if in the president. Could then go for that environmental summit now London. Why the president for good or himself as a councillor? Why they for the plant trees instead they go plant trees instead of making market dirty box? People that need for expose all those things. They are praising her too much. So the one green side I'm glad for Sylvia Blind, at least it exposed the mayor. I feel say exactly for pay attention outside and then just forget sometimes you enemy call and nearer, but just make sense, make you some fact there that at the same time you protect yourself. Thank you very much. I'm a contribution.
Thank you very much, Male. God bless you for that wonderful contribution. Those are the contributions we want. And by God power, we said that Unity will begin to look at, then thing for make sure so we begin to look at the mayor by God in own power. So again, like I talk about this treason business, I want to give people them the historical antecedents to that. Immediately way APC came to power in 1968, the first way they do nine begin club we call them. What did they do? They dispatch one of William brother them, then Luceni Afremolu Brewer, Ellen Brewer. Then they said that Liberia for they go meet staff power we be needed as president. Tubman said we are the one that man we Brigadier Lansana because we don't go there. Said we are then get some issues there for calm, resolve. So then go care some kind of fake out a column, so the old past yeah allowed. Because when somebody go to a place where he go seek political refuge, he had it even unprecedented for let's say no, he can't go back then. So in any case, they can't go back. When they can't go, now they go, charge her for treason. And they make sure say they select a judge, then a Justice Sam Foster, and they make sure say they not get no jurors. Now only the judge, and then Creole judge, and then also we don't say how Albert Magai they get problem with the Creole judge then. And obviously enough, they not link Brigadier De Villasana to Albert Magai. So they bring Justice Foster for less long on the case. Obviously, if I get there alone, no jurors, and obviously don't they and try by judge alone. So obviously he convict them. Then at the first thing, then go and but we say another bunch of people then will come in, and most of them people are in the southeastern and then they come out. You get a good number of them again, where them people like Ella Koblo Glama them, you get people like Michael Kalon them, you get people like SB Darami them, you get a lot of other people them, Peter Tucker, John Kalon, and all them three, Michael Kalon, they all. So they bring again, they bring Treason. They wonder what's in it. Simply because those people they na the Brigadier De Villasana house, na Flagstaff house, Tuesday, March 21st, Tuesday, March 21st, 1967. They say, oh, they meet there for plot for let them prevent Shaka Stevens from coming to power. So that again, what do they do? They go bring a lawyer where they may not disbar. We're not supposed for, then at the for the practice law. You see, them bad lawyer they will get sued. If lawyers are very unethical, lawyers are not supposed for them that the president not to today not start to. But luckily enough, doing the Magade era, they not be tolerated kind of lawyers and then we remove them. And CB Rogers right now one of the lawyers that we may not disbar. What teacher Cassidy to he make them get a license back. So now preside over then go charge El Akoblo they all then go just go dump them na Panemba then did it. Now the man grab you say in the go paramedical, if you don't the file go and all of them people they did. So you get all them people. Then fast forward again after they not done with Michael Calone or then they come to them people they will be the army officer they will be the people like Jackson Smith them people like B.I. Kaisamba them people like A.C. Blake, Captain Foya them, Commissioner Lee, Deputy Commissioner Kamara, and all of them people, Major M.M. Kuruma them, virtually all of them, they self-again, they can't try them for treason. So they everything, they don't know, where for draw the line. To them, everything at a capital, case they will bring on you. So you see that they don't term pass after they don't know and convict them, they sentence them to them. Then we see again 1971, where I will not talk about where when Bangura they don't tell me. When I remember what we started discussion earlier, I told I say John Amadou Bangura, by then he was a colonel. He had people like MS Tarawali. That man where he became a part of this administration now, where they call Manti, when one of the ministers in this current administration, he owned daddy. Now he owned daddy be there that the army not them me hold with Bangura, them where they may overthrow the government of Sir Albert. But this time around, where Shakasim is come now, so you get Bangura, you get Abunwa, you get Kolubonda, you get Esimomo, you get Jawara. Yes, Jawara was part of it, and all that say. So they accuse them of saying they attempt for overthrow Shaka Stevens. The Capitana earlier on in the case of Shaka Stevens, Albert Magai in your time, they may spare their lives. But one thing about Shaka Stevens, everything they go for now, the ultimate, punishment they go for. The ultimate punishment. And when I not forget, I told you say, Bangura Nai restored to power in 1968 because that time where Patrick Conte and Imadu Rogers overthrew the NRC. And in fact, before we even get to that, let me remind of that. When I see this Guinea, where don't be a place where every now and then the opposition and they run for go there. Every now and then they go there for go take refuge. It get a political overtone. In 1967, Shaka Stevens and John Amadou Bangura, when they now release her from jail, and send an American for them work at the embassy, he and Shaka Stevens and that man will be then at Guinea. Sheku Ture be given permission for go to Guinea, so that what they go do, they go train, and the people them go relax them, they go train them. Where go na salute for go invade the country by force of arms. So what are they for bless? We for bless people like Imadu Rogers, as well as Patrick Conte. They two people are there for bless because they move very quickly for remove the NRC where we need power. Then at the Jackson Smith NRC where we need it, that they move up. Where they try for pave way for less civilian government come, where they bring Shaka Stevens back to power April 26, 1968, when they bring them back. If not to be named people, they were prepared for come invade the country. But I don't know the first and that again. We see that again in 1971, where Shaka Stevens bring foreign soldiers in a Ghana stallion, Guinea. He bring Guinea soldier man them inside we country. They say it. So this be not they go on, this be not they go on. So in other words, what should they try for talk there? When APC they around, the national security of the country always stay in jeopardy because they look for everything where go destabilize the place. That even happened for independence. Where we want to get independence? Waiting them in plan for do now before kidnap the Queen in representative will become that fellow with the Duke of Kent, Prince Edward. Then we want to kidnap the Duke of Kent. Then we want to disrupt water supply in the country. Then we also want to disrupt electricity supply. So you see this blackout business where we will get a salon. So it don't start. APC laid the foundation for an because 1980, when they hosted OAU, where the governor of Bank of Sali, Governor Bangura, be campaign against that. We all know how that money lost in life. Where they say one of the talks in Panam, that fellow they call highway, where that man lost in life for nothing. From that time where Shaka Stevens spend that money per OAU, all the meager resources like the country, where the country for don't blackout now. So when as people in the country they blame this government here, so they no, this may not start the way they. You see, what they told them here, some of you would say, God can make we already go back to history. History, now they guide with discussions, now they guide with. So that way you want to say, so no. We don't go to the symptom, we go to the root cause, how we get to this point here. Because for anybody know how you get for, you get for look at how the problem don't come, you go back, oh, this is exactly what me happen. This 90 the foundation for this. This 90 the indices for this. So the three things that we don't discuss now today, the cartel now, the historical antecedents, then we trace them back to APC, we go back to the facts, the military incursion into politics as alone don't start from APC in time, because we see this. Some of us saw this. Waiting they may want to do or waiting to call my own. If I made them, they call it the my own day school, because on that day they died January 24, 1967. I Bangura they want to take over, but God make it not work. So we see, of course, again where young French can see his camp and power. We see where he attempted for overthrow, but the only time the difference this time is that this time was Albert Magai, where he may believe in the sanctity of life. Make sure say they don't hang them. Shaka Stevens, so no. He may not come up with one word say. He say degree, no degree. He say man a brute. So for deal with her. So he always, in other words, he believe in the Hammurabian code. Where he pull me foot kanda, me go pull you waist kanda. When me not sit up, you don't go sit down. So that's not the politics. So in wrapping up, my suggestion is that let the government be very mindful about the national security of the country. Because let us not forget, say, we go through 11 years of war where now APC, the mismanagement of the country, in that word, corruption, especially with mineral resources, with diamond. No, not forget that new. The war start because of that, the corruption, within the economic right. And obviously, again, some of we get the historical knowledge for recall say, not to the under APC, we don't lost a lot of minerals. The first mineral resources we lost our country. I don't know how old some of them be, if we have been following 1969, that famous Hastings robbery will be take place there. The diamond will be the commander Yengema will be the camp when reach the Hastings, when they go hijack that plane there. Obviously, those will be APC or remand them, are in it. So nothing not come up on that case. The first judge where they bring the for they look into the thing, when they begin they point out the evidence, what they just first place for him. Now the for the plane seat for him for can go back to Nigeria. Justice Iko Idugu now it's not back to Nigeria. Because what they have put the government in waste. What they do, they bring somebody who will be amenable to the design, Justice Donald Macaulay at a very relatively young age. That man they retire quick after he don't make his own money because he make his own money. So all of that, so this economic problems, so what they see in the country, I must tell everybody. I mean, the opposition in general, but in particular, APC no actually not really mean well for the country. It really not mean because let's put it this way: the citizens they don't vote, they don't put a government. Why would I not go come up with a program? Where would I go sell give the citizens all the statement they are where they make people like the so-called spokesman where they go make no, you don't need all the statement and like with what I call this stuff where it seems very oblivious of the things that we meet, people that we come on as Southeastern and APC they had. Really. But I say go find out the Benin history, they know they reminded we misguided what are they did. Not get so much carried away with this power that you go do anything for get into power. Now that they call the Machiavellian approach. The end justifies the means. You don't care how you get there, as long as you don't get what you want. We cannot. Let we not always for everything what they do, let we always remember. So I don't go to 11 years of carnage, 11 years of senseless, violence, war. Where it totally uncalled for, where nobody know emerge as a winner. Everybody lost. The fabric of the society now get turned over. We all lost. People get for understand say power they come up from the people there. Now that made they define democracy for me. Power from the people, by the people, and existing with the legitimate consent of the people there. When you get power through the validity of the sanctity of the ballot box, when citizens they go to the polling station, they reaffirm their faith in that, you get more respect because you did there with the approval, with the authority that they put you there. You they exercise the power on their behalf. These are the powers and this will for the clamor for. This now for tell the opposition, say, look, you guys, so to una bring an alternative program. This is why you are in the opposition. You did it. When they come up with program on a fise, program, it will be more sellable past waiting the government they do. But when I result to that here, they take advantage of their youths them, we're so gullible because they were so no more than they put before they. Now they risk their life then. Now they go fight for people where they know they get nothing. Nothing, not even to go to McKinney. What has the youth them in McKinney? If you really put the youth there, say, well, look, waiting una don't gain naya. Wait, una show we the farm way and the by don't make naya. For let una the youth them go there. So una go, una go get involved in project they we go feed them. Una get able lands, una get fertile lands naya. Let una they do this so that una get to feed una say. Why una they go begin to complain about? What you know, they go there now, free una not get any attachment to the place. Una not get no place for sleep. Una not get any meaningful education. Una not get no sustainable job or gainful employment. We don't know una they go up and down, and they then a party office. would involve, violence, would involve it. What is it doing you? Why would I not go take control over your lifestyle? These politicians who on their own behalf, they do this. When I rest assured, say their family members, they live good. A good number of them they oversee. They live good. They get what they eat every day. They get good side when they sleep. They don't get that with it.
Professor, we need to read some comments.
Let's read the comments. Merci.
All right. The very last one says, it says, let me read it again. What is the difference between NPRC and AFRC? Please educate me, Ba. And Kutubu, you already know root cause of the present happening in the country. Can you please come up with programs that you will give us remedy? What I am seeing, this nation politics, people are using history as justification for their wrongdoings. And this other one says, it come up from JT Mara. I know most of the things, okay, this has just been the asked about that. I know most of the things are because my mom used to educate me a lot about the politics of this nation. But so many citizens can't even differentiate between NPRC and AFRC. That comes again. And this come up from YouTube. Maria Tukano is say, you bang on the spot. Kutubu, about Sylvia Bladin, you know how to analyze people. I will never trust Sylvia Bladin. May God bless you, Kutubu. And this one come out from Ramat Samboy Casanova. It say a lot of them are documented. Okay, but they talk about somebody we asks about somebody they ask Professor they once let you do a documentary of the history where they explain. Then say very explicit, so now that trend come out. This come out from Sydney Kande. There is nothing wrong with Sylvia visiting our First Lady. They have been friends before. Now politics scatter them. Besides, First Lady matured. And we will read the last one that come from MB Kalon says they tried it during the Pademba Road incident, but failed big time. This come up with a trend of you explaining about how they wanted to cause a coup, your very first discussion. And the last one says, it come up from David Finney. He say, ha ha ha, the game gets yagba. This somebody mean they try for say, Professor, he says, Sylvia Bladin is gonna run for, okay, let me put it on the thing. Eddie Grant says Sylvia Bladin, SLPP 2023 candidate for Freetown Mayor. That was the question we asked, and that's come up with the trend where David Feeling and every other person will come up with. So far, those are the questions, but people want you to tell them the difference between the NPRC and the AFRC as history. Then we go close the show and tell them thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. After the call away, say we get the nexus between NPRC and then guide them we Johnny Paul Coman. Now, long first go to the NPRC. Remember, Salion, the only time we hold a general election was 1967. From the time where APC came to power from 1967 to 1992, April 29, 1990, will not be get democratic elections. We see how APC transformed the country into one-party rule. We see all kind of violations, constitutional violations, electoral violations, human rights violations. I mean, the citizens, everything actually they been all lost because of. So when the NPRC came, they came there as a relief. Just like if I know juxtapose and waiting happen at Guinea now. Let's say that. So we go talk say NPRC actually become now a relief. They come as a relief. They come as what you call a stopgap measure. so that the people then will get again the opportunity for return to democratic government. If NPRC not become, we not go get the kind of government we get out today. You get a government and an opposition. You know, that's it. So before we really tell God, thank you. If any side they will credit them, we'll credit them. I know they say they should not be getting up and down the shenanigans and you know not. But what you are called the intervention, you're like dynamic look like Guinea so because if Mamadou Doumbouya not become the people in Guinea, there's no way when they will get democratic elections. You're like waiting to happen on Uganda, where Museveni don't grab power, or waiting to happen at Cameroon, where that fellow Probia. So now the same situation. APCs never get ready to go anywhere. So for God thank you for the intervention of the NPRC. Now we go to Fode Sankodeyo. They came, they not become with actually try to get power through the ballot box. Don't forget that. When I see when they come now, more than win at the country. When I see waiting they do to Motamande. We see the criminal violence so them they come. Then come about graffiti. We not get any evidence that say NPRC do waiting for this according do no they don't do them. So that the big difference between them. They can not only come for plunder the country, but they come for finally destroy the country. And we saw that. We saw the mayhem. We saw the criminal violence. They not be get any agenda to us, democratic dispensation. They didn't have any of that in there. We see for the Sanko them. So that if it be clear to anybody, they are like that the APRC and for the Sanko them, like night and day. At the very least, they will see meaningful efforts where they may make. Yes, among them, yes, and get some, kushkas among them. But in terms of not saying the type of thing that where for the Sakode inflict on the country, more than like night and day. Me not go even make that comparison with it. Seriously. Because it was so uncalled for, it was so unconscionable, it was so horrific. You see people and they cut people in their hand, they do this, they set people, they also fire, and all of it. So for the Sanko them, they were not actually good for the country at all. They were not good. But in the end, we see how it's end. So like waiting people at the talk, by God power, we go try for put things into historical perspective. Because what not happen with historians in Australia, a lot of things today where they know you're like if you tell them about that famous Hastings robbery which took place in 1967, where because we know so that in a government organized business where we lost all with that money, nothing not commodity, nothing. So all of them say if I know they bring their history there. The reason why if I know they bring history there, that will help with what they map out the way forward. Because the great English philosopher Edmund Burke, he said the one that we not remember today. I mean we not remember yesterday. They go repeat the same mistake at tomorrow. So what we need for remember what happened yesterday. Then we take her for let it guide we into way to tomorrow. So anybody will deny history, the relevance of history, the importance of history, well, obviously you then out in a call Alice in Wonderland. So except otherwise, we they come now by God power Thursday, with the Kaya with defeating the lives by God power Thursday, with the Kana. But tomorrow again we get another show where Chief Commissioner Vandy they come here who will ask that for stay tuned. And you guys, we in our Unity broadcasting now, we don't decide for come up with the other side of the story because all along we should have been propaganda. But now we say they can't do that the other side of the story now, so that we're not say go able for make informed judgment, we're not able for balance, we're able to know what it is. So you go get the ego from the Atoku. Because all along now, one side no more so some of which got the advent of Unity broadcasting, it don't change the trajectory. So this means they find that commentary against I want to say we all thank you. We fans them and I want appeal to now follow and remain loyal to we and one now that they share every now and then anytime if I want to now for do we get notification buttons already. So as soon as we can no more straight away. We are not need for find out almost clock the cable. Once we can about the notification button in the go off, we return that so we don't come. And I make the action follow on the share. una the share because the whole competition for that also the person who will do the highest sharing, we get a gift for them. So again, I want to boku thank you. You guys have been very loyal, fan them, and let the comments onagi. So until we come back tomorrow with Commissioner Vandy, this time Kutubu Komanda and the sign off.